guys,
That's none of your business.
Okay, all right, I'm just concerned. I'd hate to wake up one morning and find out she was killed in a rock slide.
I'll show you a rock slide.
Hey guys, this is Alex.
With Tyler.
And welcome to Settle for the Bronze. Now, if you've been anywhere on this YouTube channel that you're on right now, seen any of the other videos, yeah, we don't typically use our first names. At all.
No, never.
Yeah.
We are now.
Yeah. I was Area 007, and
I was Cyclops.
Yeah,
Yes.
this guy over here was Cyclops. But we're doing sort of a phase 2 type thing with the channel.
We're going to a different direction, kind of streamlining.
Not really a
things.
phase 2. It's
it's a different. We're over the next month or so. We're going to be rolling out a lot of new changes.
Yes.
A lot of which we haven't implemented yet, but you'll notice more as we go along.
Including a big name change.
Yes,
All
it's
right.
coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Have we already used a video with the new logo yet?
Yes, our analysis of Fan 4 Stick.
Oh man, the one that is longer than the movie itself.
Yes.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. We have our new little opening with the new name of the channel that we're going to go for.
Go check it out.
But anyways, over the next month, we'll be putting in those changes, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Welcome to
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh my god. Welcome to Settle for the Bronze, and this week, if you couldn't tell by our opening, we are doing the 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four films.
Yeah.
Now, this is coming a little late after the
We're
travesty.
still on this.
The travesty that was Fan 4 Stick, but we just can't get it out of our minds. Now, we said in the last Settle for the Bronze video, Green Hornet, that we would be doing The Bourne Legacy. That would be our next film.
No.
Yeah, we've kind of changed the whole schedule.
As part of our new setup and the way we're changing things, we changed a lot of the Settle for the Bronze schedule. We do have a very extended timeline for what we're going to be doing for that. But they're a lot more tied in with with movies that are coming out, and we tried to attach that a little more and make them a little more relevant while also allowing us some time for just random obscure stuff that nobody cares about anymore.
The Green Hornet. That was relevant, right?
Exactly. So I mean, we're gonna try and angle that a little more towards that. There's still gonna be random odds and ends stuff that we just throw out there too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I actually could probably pull up what we're doing next week. I believe our next up on the list is Sherlock Holmes 2. Like I was just talking about, very relevant right now.
Oh yeah.
But,
well, it's technically relevant because Man from U.N.C.L.E. came out last weekend, and Guy Ritchie directed that.
That's a stretch.
It is a stretch.
But that was not our plan. That just we have filler weeks.
No. We originally hadn't planned on doing the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
we saw Fan 4 Stick, and we were like, well, we kind of have to do it now.
Yeah, we were like, might as well. I mean, it's never going to be...
Because these movies look like freaking Oscar contenders compared to that.
Because surely, I mean...
Spoilers.
I mean, I know Hollywood, but surely this is never going to... Or this is never going to be more relevant, at least not in like the next 5 years. Because surely they're not going to make another Fantastic Four movie in the next 5 years.
Cough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to split the discussion up into 2 sections for each movie. So, Tyler, I was about to say Tyclops.
Oh,
Tyler,
man. Now you have to change yourself the other way.
God, I'm too tired for this. Go ahead and read off the scores for Fantastic Four from 2005.
All right, Fantastic Four from 2005 has a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 40% on Metacritic, and a 5.7 on IMDb.
Do you know what the user score was for Rotten Tomatoes?
I got that right here.
The last statistic.
I'm sorry. I forgot. Didn't we decide that we're going to stop using Metacritic because it sucks?
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
An audience score of 46%.
Okay, so obviously most people don't really like it that much. I don't know, what are your general thoughts / recommendation before we get
I was surprised when I watched it because...
Keep in mind, we were watching this right after Fan 4 Stick.
Yeah, we're looking back at this thinking, okay, so this is what we're
this is what we're dealing with.
This
is what to compare it to.
Fantastic Four has never gotten a good movie. We'll start off by that. I'm not going to call either of these movies good.
Keep going.
Anyway,
the Roger Corman movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I've not even seen it.
Pun.
Oh.
Keep going.
The
question was I being sarcastic or not?
Yes.
I'm not going to
Maybe.
answer. I'll let that be a big lingering mystery. Does he actually like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie? It's going to be a running gag, whatever.
No, the
Copyright, Alex,
Yes.
807, whatever.
The 2005 Fantastic Four. It's interesting because it is basically ripped straight out of the 60s stuff. The 60s comic book stuff, except for Von Doom. And because of that, I love a lot of the interactions between characters. And I think it's actually got really good dialogue. It's just very boring. Because it's like watching all of like Fantastic Four issue number 1, if Doom was thrown in there, stretched out over like however long it is, an hour
And here's that.
however long.
But that's where the big debate comes
Yeah,
in.
which is the
over
problem, is that-
stretching an origin story out over
Because
a full
this was an
movie.
origin story that does not take long to develop. It's
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, they go into
Well,
space.
it's just an excuse to give them their powers.
Yeah, they go into space, they get powers, they come back down, they start arguing, and then they argue throughout the rest of their career. This makes it just it doesn't give them really anything to go up against except for Doom at the very end of the movie. Spoilers, I guess.
Oh, surprise!
Yeah.
Fantastic Four fights Doom at the end.
Yeah.
It's like they've never done that before, except every
Every time.
single Fantastic Four.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's kind of... I don't really know how to feel about this just because it does stay accurate, at least to the old campy comics, but it doesn't have a story. There's not much going on there.
There's a very loose story.
Yeah,
it's
it's
more like a series of things happening.
Yeah, which is a lot like Fan Four Stick, but it's coherent.
At least I can tell what's happening, and I'm not constantly questioning. Hey, why are they doing that?
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't even know how to feel about this or recommend it. If you're a fan of the Fantastic Four classic, Stan Lee stuff, then I'd say I recommend it because it is a lot of that is represented on screen, even if it's with some terrible CGI and costumes and stuff like that. I don't actually mind the Thing's costume, by the way. Just a little side note. You mentioned that the wrinkles around the neck can be seen, and that takes away from it. But for the most part, all the characters look like they're supposed to, and I think even the Thing's costume looks right, even if it isn't the most high budget that it could be.
What's your letter grade?
Letter grade, probably a C plus maybe.
Okay. Well,
I don't hate it.
Would you recommend it?
I'd only recommend it if you really want to see some of that Fantastic Four campiness on screen.
So, but not for like just general movie going
No, definitely
audiences.
not.
Not
Definitely.
just for
I don't
like
think
a fun time.
that's the only reason I enjoyed it was because I was like, oh, that actually is pretty much how they act in the comics. That's interesting.
I feel a lot. I feel the same way from a good bit of that. I'd probably just go with a C.
Mm-hmm.
My two main problems with the movie are the way they portray Victor Von Doom and then just Jessica Alba.
Yeah, Sue Storm in general.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Half of that is her, and then half of that is the writing they gave her because Jessica Alba was cast.
Exactly.
And yes, by the way, those nude scenes that they gave her where she has to take off her clothes were written specifically after she was cast. She admitted that in the commentary. And I actually wasted time listening to the commentary for this in preparation. So, good to know I do my research,
Oh yes, we're all very proud of you.
It reminded me a lot of the first Spider-Man movie, the Tobey Maguire one.
Yeah,
It reminded me a lot of
I guess.
No, just because, like, most of it is origin story.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot of plot.
But there is more of a plot. The original Spider-Man movie I do like more than this.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's
No, I'm just saying it
and the
had
same
certain patterns.
and that's something we were talking about a second ago that we can bring up in a moment, but we'll get back to that on the general state of superhero movies at the time this came out.
Yeah. I give a very lukewarm recommendation, mostly for people who still have the bitter taste of Fan Four.
That's true.
This
will
is
wipe that
actually
out.
nice and welcoming. It's just like, oh, this is just a fun time to watch.
Yeah.
Watch a movie.
That will wash that up for sure.
Yes.
Doesn't feel like the studio just
The
screwed
best
everything
part
up.
of this movie is that it has charm.
Yeah.
It has a nice charm to it because I like most of the characters and I like their interactions.
Yeah.
Specifically, Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans. Chris Evans is always great.
Oh yeah, of course.
But even like a lot of people complain about Ewan Grufford, I believe is the way you pronounce his name. Spelling on that's ridiculous. But the guy who plays Mr. Fantastic. I don't read Fantastic Four comics, but he looks straight up.
I thought he was fine.
Straight up.
I think
like
he's
Mr.
fine.
Fantastic.
He's fine in this movie. Yeah, I think he's a good fit for Mr. Fantastic. I think it works.
Yeah, but I'd go with a very lukewarm recommendation.
Okay. So
Although,
I guess
since nobody saw Fin Four Stick, whatever you do, whatever you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so spoilers from here on out for
I guess,
Fantastic Four.
They fight Doom. You know,
Yeah.
they beat him. They kill him. Actually.
Okay, I wanna cover one thing before we get into like Doom and Sue Storm and stuff. For me, the Thing costume, I respect them a lot for still trying to do that. Because you look at like the 2003 Hulk movie.
Yeah.
CGI is clearly not there yet for them to do a full live action Hulk or CGI Hulk in the live action environment. It does not look great. But I respect that they did it, and even like the wrinkles and stuff, I can look past that.
Yeah, it works.
It's not taking itself seriously.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, whatever. It's just a thing I pointed out. But I think the Thing is one thing that I would say needs to be CGI.
Yeah.
For a movie.
Yeah. Because the way he looks in the comics just doesn't make any sense. You have to interpret that in some way for actual, instead of just making him look, like giving him a costume that looks exactly the same.
Like,
you have to interpret that in some way, like rocks shifting or something like that.
Like one of the few bright spots of Fan Four Stick, and boy, were there few, was that the Thing looked great.
Yeah.
And they had him fully CGI.
Yeah.
I was totally fine with that.
I mean, he could have looked a little more like the comics, but he still looked really cool, except for the pants thing. Where he wasn't wearing pants, but whatever. That's not a part of the problem with the design.
Yeah.
The design looks right.
Yeah.
And they have, you should interpret him in some way. Now that we have the technology, for sure, you should interpret him some way.
Yeah.
For a movie.
Yeah. I respect it, but it's.
I'm glad they didn't go with it though, because it probably would have looked really crappy if they tried to do the CGI in 2005.
Yeah.
Although
it's kind of sad that Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, when he's all fired up, looks about the same quality as Michael B. Jordan fired up in a 2015 Fantastic Four movie.
Very much so. Very much so.
Okay, let's get to the bad stuff in this movie, because we actually seem to enjoy this a lot.
Yeah. Little quick summary here. We enjoy the characters. We enjoy the dialogue.
Well, we enjoy the characters for the most part.
Yeah, except for Sue Storm and
we enjoyed
Doctor Who, we'll talk
the
about
comedy. It was funny.
Yeah.
I laughed.
Got humor.
I enjoyed
humor
it.
is a good thing.
I had fun.
Funny
That a Fantastic Four movie is supposed to be fun.
I thought everything had to be dark and gritty.
Oh God.
Yeah. I thought we weren't allowed to have fun at the movies anymore.
Okay. Let's address the elephant in the room. It's Jessica Alba.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's kind of two elephants in the room.
Well, yeah,
but,
Von Doom, but he's always been screwed up.
Yeah.
Let's go with Jessica Alba. She's just horribly miscast. Horribly.
Yeah.
Astronomically miscast.
Yes. Yeah. She... Not a great actress to begin with, and just doesn't...
She always has like a blank expression on her face.
And just doesn't really pull off the scientist extraordinaire.
Well, the problem is they don't give her any sciencey stuff to do.
And see, that's the thing, is that the original 60s comics are not particularly progressive. Like, they portray Sue Storm as mostly just like kind of a housewife sort of person. Like, she doesn't have... And, she loves shopping and everything. Like, she doesn't have a whole lot of... science stuff, related stuff, and so for that, I'm glad that they went that direction with her in this movie. I'm glad that they went with the direction of let's make her a little more scientific, like science, like someone who can stake on Reed's levels a little more. And I don't know if that's like a new comics thing. I haven't read much of the Fantastic Four post 2000 or whatever, but still, that's a good step. But you don't cast Jessica Alba for that. You don't cast Jessica Alba for that role. That's not how that works.
No, but they just say at the beginning, she's one of Von Doom's big assistants, and they're a thing for some reason.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. And she's a scientist, and she's like almost on Reed's level of intelligence.
Oh.
And they do nothing with that whatsoever. That is almost never brought up again.
No, not even the second one or anything.
Well, we'll get to the second
one. Yeah.
But everyone's talked about this, but that's like a big crushing blow to the movie. Her and Ewan Grufford have like zero chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because he's pretty much talking like a blank wall.
Yeah. It's because she can't create chemistry in that way, I feel like.
She can't really emote with dialogue.
What was I going to say? the only other really problem. So I mean, we've covered that. The only other problem I really have is Dune, because again they just screw him up. Nobody can accept the fact that the whole point of Dune is that he's this dude who is like super insecure and paranoid, and so he puts on a mask and armor and tries to devise his own powers and stuff like that through searching for magic and explosives and stuff like, and looking for weapons and stuff like that.
It was closer.
It was closer.
This one was
Much
closer.
I'll get to that in a second. But they can't accept the fact that he's basically the evil Iron Man. Not quite. He doesn't design like an iron suit, but same sort of idea where he's very smart and he's designing his own personal means of being powerful rather than him getting any powers.
Yeah.
And instead of them, going that route or anything, they just give him powers along with the rest of the Fantastic Four. Yay. I don't understand why they can't just do that.
They're obsessed with having Dune be a part of their origin. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, I mean, he's supposed to know Reed from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that works because then it's like, oh, they have this mysterious backstory, and when he comes back into play, it's like, oh, this is a guy from Reed's past. And you can build him up to be this really looming villain where Reed's like, oh god, it's him, and they're like, why? And then they find out that he's this dark guy, and the mysterious experiments he did and everything that got him kicked out of college and all that stuff. Like all that can come back, but instead they're like, no, we're gonna give him powers. He's just gonna be this scientist dude, and he gets powers, and he's evil.
It's just
like.
It's funny because this came out the same year as Batman Begins.
Yeah.
And Batman Begins took the exact opposite approach of, let's start with smaller villains that haven't shown up in anything before.
Exactly. Which is what they should do.
We'll bring in the big guns Joker in the sequel.
Exactly.
How about we start off with something dumb like
Start off with
Mole Man?
Yeah, Mole Man is how they started off originally. Just do that again.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever tried Mole Man.
And nobody ever will.
Probably not. Makes me sad.
Give the rights back
Mole
to
Man
Marvel.
needs some love. They would probably very much so.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it just bothers me. It is closer because at the end of the movie he does, after he's been disfigured, he puts on this metal mask, but it doesn't really explain why he does. It's just kind of like he does. It doesn't really seem to be because he's trying to hide his scars.
And then his plan to like split up the team is kind of haphazard and all over the place. It's very jumbled.
Just generally doesn't seem to be a super smart guy. And he also has electricity powers, which makes even less sense. And then they killed him. They just murder him.
Yeah.
That bothered me a little. They just killed Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to feel any remorse about that. And they didn't try and stop him or anything. They just freeze him to death or something. Isn't it? What is it exactly? I forget.
They superheat him up with Johnny's supernova thing.
Yeah.
And then they rapidly cool him with water.
Yes, and then I guess he's...
And then he's like...
dead.
Yeah.
And then
he's pretty much a statue. And then he gets shipped off to Latveria for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the after credit scene. No, we determined that was not the first after credit scene, right?
For a superhero movie, I believe the first after credit scene was for Daredevil.
Theatrical version.
Mm-hmm. For me, the script is just kind of
bland.
Yeah.
I mean,
how much of the
dialogue is good. The plot.
No.
Is not.
How much of that is from the actors, though?
Yeah.
Exactly. How much did they improv?
Or did they at least add to the lines and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm sure Chris Evans added most of the personality.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like it feels like a 2-hour-long pilot.
Yeah.
For a series.
Yeah, I agree. And you
pilots are meant to be 1 hour because TV shows are 1 hour.
I don't know. But that's
or half an hour.
You just said Chris Evans brings a lot to it, and that's the thing is, the Fantastic Four doesn't work unless you have actors with really good chemistry. Because the whole point is that they're
a family.
They're a family. I mean, they're not an
Marvel's
actual
first family.
They're not an actual family, but they are. They act like and they work like a family.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that they work.
Yeah.
They don't work any other way if you have actors who are very bland.
Yeah.
Any of the actors very bland stand out like a sore thumb, like Jessica Alba, or all of the cast, at least the way they were directed, not necessarily the way they act, but the way they were directed in Four Stick.
Yeah.
Simple.
Why can Fantastic Four movies also not do romantic relationships correctly?
I don't know.
The one they got close with the Thing and Alicia.
Yeah.
But then they cut out like all of their good scenes. There's more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
that is not in the theatrical version, and that's the version we watched. There is an extended version, but we didn't watch that.
Okay.
Sue Storm is very shallow in this movie, and is like, "Hey, Reed, do you not notice my sexy ass Jessica Alba looking body?"
Yeah, and then Reed is
he's like, "No, sciencey stuff," and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh,
Darn.
you're not gonna get it. I'm leaving you." And
then at the end, for some reason, she's like, "No, Doom and I were never close to each other, even though he felt close enough to propose."
yes, he proposes when they're up in space. No, I thought, and this would have been a great idea to go with, that he has such a high ego and image of himself that without having a huge relationship with her, he could just ask her and she would be like fawning all over him, like, yes, of course.
But that doesn't, as far as, I mean, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but that doesn't seem to be how they play it.
No,
really.
it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. That was all overall just a weird little storyline. It kind of continues right into the next one.
But it's this movie sets up a lot of potential. Like I said, it's a pilot.
Yeah.
It feels like a pilot for a longer series.
Yeah. And then the second movie comes out.
Yeah,
So we're going to move over to that?
Yeah. We'll go ahead and just say we're kind of iffy on this one, recommendation wise, but the C to C plus range is what we go with for this one. It's not terrible. It's actually a lot of stuff to like, but there's a lot of stuff to dislike as well.
Yeah.
But it's not a complete travesty.
I don't think it deserves quite the terrible reviews that it has.
Yeah.
But
Now let's
if that movie is a pilot, Silver Surfer is maybe the first few episodes of that, or the first like the episodes following that pilot, maybe 2 or 3 episodes maybe, and you kind of realize, oh, there was nothing really more than the pilot. That was okay, I guess.
Silver Surfer is the 2 or 3 episodes that gets the show killed.
Yeah, basically. Like, I mean, it's not horrendous, I guess.
It's watchable.
It's entertaining enough. I mean, it's a lot like, comic book movies were back, in the first, basically all comic book movies basically leading up to like 2007, 8 or so. I mean, not all of them, but they all had that same feel where they never really took themselves seriously.
Yeah.
Maybe
Except for Batman Begins.
And I was about to say maybe like X-Men 1 and 2. Maybe.
Yeah.
But, like, they always seem to have this aspect of just kind of like, oh, we're a comic book movie. Joel Schumacher style.
Remember, everyone, it's a cartoon!
Exactly. I'm going to read off the scores really quick.
Yeah, we have officially moved on to Rise of the Silver Surfer.
The IMDb score is 5.6 out of 10. The Rotten Tomatoes score is 37% and for the critics rating and 51% for the audience rating, and it's a 45% on Metacritic.
Higher scores in the first movie, which
is weird. I disagree with that. It does have a plot.
That's the main thing I would go with.
It does have
the
a plot.
Reason for those higher scores.
So
there is
a
plot.
But as far as
for me, all the problems that were in the first one are like times 10 in this one.
Yes. And it creates more problems as well.
Yes.
Because then they don't even stop at screwing up Doom. And even though they didn't completely screw him up, they don't even stop there. They then proceed to screw up Galactus.
Yeah.
They don't screw up... And then I'm just sort of like my big problem here. We're obviously just going to go straight into spoilers because,
No. Let's go ahead and do scores and recommendations.
Oh, yeah, okay. Gotcha. This one's probably C- maybe. For me,
I agree with you. C-.
Going out, yeah.
I don't recommend this one.
Same here. I don't think that. Well, the first one I think gave Fantastic Four, fans of the campy '60s comics something to be like, oh, that's interesting. The second one I feel like doesn't bring anything new to the table and makes it worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One thing I didn't bring up about the first one right before we move on. I guess we already have moved on, but whatever. My show.
Yeah.
Our show.
Yeah.
The first movie's plot, in quotes, is they want to get rid of their powers.
Yeah.
Who wants to see a Fantastic Four movie where they try and get rid of their powers for 2 hours?
That's the plot of like the first issue of the Fantastic Four. Not like, I mean, Ben Grimm's the only one who cares after that. No, the rest of them don't care. They can control it and they can't.
No, but the best part is at the end of the movie, Mr. Fantastic's like, if I could power up the machine again, we could turn you back, Ben. And he's like, nah, I'm good.
And then, well, we'll get to that in a second. But the second movie, yeah, is just The plot of the second movie or at least the running theme seems to be they want to try and retire.
Yes.
It's like
Because Suze hates the,
they can't get rid
spotlight.
of it. They can't get rid of their powers, but they might as well retire. It's like, I don't know.
Oh, and another thing that bothers me about these movies, they never do perform any super heroics.
Yes, yeah.
Like stopping crime or anything. I mean, of
It
course
references that they do.
I mean, of course they help save the day at the end, although Silver Surfer actually does the saving of the day. But like the first movie, they clean up their own mess by stopping Doom.
Mm.
And then at the beginning of this one, Sue's like, oh, they want to charge us for 2 squad cars that were damaged. I'm like, well, I didn't see that. Starts out with them in an airport.
Yeah, exactly.
What a horrible place to start. That automatically bothered me. Like, they show the stuff with Silver Surfer and he's starting to cause anomalies, whatever.
And he brings Doom back to life, which is how we know he was dead in the first place.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then conveniently flies over lab area.
Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
But they start off in an airport, and like the first 10 minutes is them in an airport and then them flying.
Yeah.
And it's just to have comic relief and to set up that Sue's upset.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It does not start off well.
No. And then the basic plot is that the Silver Surfer is creating giant craters in the planet for some reason.
For Galactus to get closer to the Earth's core?
Apparently.
I don't know.
And Galactus is just a giant cloud thing, and he's there.
Yes, we all know this sucks.
He doesn't have a personality or anything. He's just a giant cloud who's following Silver Surfer. And at the end, spoilers, I guess. At the end, Silver Surfer defeats Galactus on his own, even though Galactus gives Silver Surfer his powers in the first place. And
he pretty much acts as like a suicide bomber.
And
then Galactus seems to be completely destroyed, but then in the after credit scene they show Silver Surfer is indeed alive. And it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Whatever. And Silver Surfer doesn't completely suck in this.
He looks
gorgeous. He looks right.
Looks gorgeous. It's perfect.
He looks right, but as far as like the acting, he should be a little more like what's his name? Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. He should have a little more of that like weird like doesn't quite fit in, a Martian Manhunter sort of thing where he doesn't quite know what he's doing there. He's trying to figure out what Earth is like.
Like this Silver Surfer seems to recognize human emotion and like how people are questioning him. Like he's monotone when he answers, but he seems to recognize. Like Dr. Manhattan's completely distant. He's like, what?
Yeah, that's a little more how he should be.
He's not actually like that. I know.
He should be like learning about humanity, while it's more like he's just kind of following them around and acting as exposition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of that.
Probably my biggest problem for the movie, it's not even the Galactus stuff, because whatever. Yeah. I had to deal with that crap with Parallax and Green Lantern, which is also an abomination.
Very true.
That's just as bad as this Galactus stuff, in my opinion.
Yes.
But
correct.
I'd rather watch this movie than Green Lantern.
Correct.
To be honest.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing for me is once again the Sue and Reed relationship.
Uh-huh. Because now it's Reed doesn't give Sue enough time.
Because he's trying to save the world.
And I mean, I get the problems. Like, I understand it,
the problems are so petty.
They're such a one-note record, like, where they just keep bringing up the same problems. And then at the end of the movie, it's just like... Sue is just like, okay, I'll rush our wedding for you.
Yeah.
Now I think exactly the same way you do.
Their logic at the end is great, because the whole time they're like, hey, maybe we should retire, get out of the spotlight, we're done with the super heroics, whatever. Go have kids or something. And then they're like, no, we saved the world. We're important. That's the arc. There's no development. It's just kind of a snap thing. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and then Sue is just on board with the whole devoting all their time to helping or like saving the world or whatever.
Yeah.
When before, and it doesn't even. I don't even know. I don't know where. Like it just kind of seems to come out of nowhere because she dies at the end and then.
No, they're faking an arc. They want to make you think that something happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Changed and evolved.
And then it's like, oh, so now we don't have to. The problem's gone.
Yeah,
that's cool, I guess. Nobody cares about actual drama.
Nobody has an arc.
Yeah.
Except for Johnny, until the last scene, and then you realize, no, nothing really changed for him. No, because the whole time he's supposed to be more responsible because
Uh-huh.
he interacts with the Silver Surfer and then he can switch powers with people by touching them, and then, you know, he's learning responsibility. He's like, maybe I shouldn't be such a jackass all the time.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I should try and be more responsible and think about my actions. Then at the end of the movie, you know, Sue throws the bouquet, and the army lady, who for some reason is attracted to Johnny, even though we never saw any development of that, other than
because they had a
she
few
seemingly
scenes,
hated him.
they had a few scenes together. He's a guy, she's a woman. It's movie logic. It just makes sense, you know.
But then he burns the bouquet before she can catch it, and it's like, he learned nothing?
Yeah.
And then Ben already had his arc in the first movie.
Yeah.
So he didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Nobody has an arc.
Correct.
Reed
just
I know
gets,
I said the first one was a series of things happen. This one is even more.
Yeah.
It's just a series of things happen.
really just one thing happening with the Silver Surfer. It's causing a few other things along the way.
Yeah.
And then he wins. And they're fine. And Doom gets involved for some reason. And that's all very stupid.
Okay, I will never get over the military bringing Doom on to try and stop the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. It's like, this dude just tried to, like, kill half Manhattan or something. Like, he's just, like, became this...
Are we not going to address the fact that he was dead? We have that on public record.
What
he
is
was
it?
Dead.
What is it with the military and just having their priorities all sorts of wrong when it comes to bringing back people who have made mistakes in Fantastic Four movies? Like,
No.
You just can't stop bringing back...
This is just a general thing with superhero movies and law enforcement. In almost all of them, they make cops and military people out to be idiots.
Yeah. I mean that's very true because then
incompetent idiots.
Because then you allow the superheroes to look better, and that's not okay.
Look at the police force in the Burton Schumacher Batman movies. I mean, Gordon's a joke.
Yeah, exactly. And
thanks, Batman. Glad you saved us.
And that's not really okay because they should. I mean, it's. I don't know.
No, that's why I appreciate, everybody loves to hate on Man of Steel, whatever. At least they tried to, have the military as like, okay, they're trying to save the day themselves.
Yeah, they don't like just completely like shut Superman down.
Yeah.
There's no plot where it's like, oh, you're not allowed to do anything because we don't trust you.
Yeah.
And because of that, the villain is able to do more, and then we realize that we were wrong in the first place, and now...
They don't have that stupid generic kind of arc.
Yeah, it's I mean, I
don't have any sort of arc in this movie.
Not the biggest fan of Man of Steel or anything like that, but at least they don't do that.
Yeah.
And which basically do in this one, where it's like, oh, now Doom's back, because of the military. And the military is just all sorts of weird in this one, too, because the general... or the high-ranking officer that keeps talking to them, he seems like this really stout, upright moral guy who just wants to save the day.
It's less that he has a hatred against Reed, which they play up, and more so he just wants to get down to business, and he's kind of tired of the Fantastic Four just doing random shit.
Yeah, and then there's just this random scene where he just starts ripping on Reed and just calling
you were a football player in high school,
nerd,
really petty stuff,
making fun of him and it's just where did that even come from?
And it's all just to get Mr. Fantastic to do a speech of, oh, I'm really awesome and you should put me in charge of this mission.
Exactly. It's
and then he refers to Sue as the hottest woman on the planet. And that's the best thing he has to say about his fiancée.
Yes, who is supposed to be like an astrophysicist lady.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what's happening in these movies anymore.
Wouldn't the correct line have been, not only am I dating one of the hottest women on the planet, she's also one of the smartest minds
something like that.
on
Just
Earth.
A little bit.
Just something.
It seems like they just completely gave up on the smart angle.
At least try and fake it.
Really.
Give me something.
Yeah. Yeah,
it does maintain a lot of the gags from the first one. It has a lot of nice little jokes. And
the dialogue's still more or less
although a lot of it seems more childish.
Yeah, it seems to get a little...
This one is PG. The first one is PG-13.
Which is weird, because I feel like there's a little more, raunchy type humor.
Yeah, there's a bit more sexual type jokes.
So I don't know what...
Especially the clip we used with...
Yeah. I don't know.
I had to wake up one morning and realize she was killed in the rock slide.
Yeah, I'll show you a rock slide. I don't know. It's strange. Yeah. It's very strange. I don't really get it. I don't know what's happening.
The first one, I would say, is a valiant effort.
Mm.
This one, I would just say, is pitiful.
Yeah. The second one is just kind of like, let's make some money. We made money off the first one. We'll make some more money off the second one, and then we'll say it's done.
Yeah.
We'll just reboot it after that. Kind of feels like they weren't planning. I mean, they were supposedly were going to do a Silver Surfer spinoff.
Yeah, that was the whole purpose for the after credits scene.
I feel like we could get into a lot more analysis of like just what didn't work in this movie and everything, and in the first one as well, and like comparing that to other heroes. But it's just not even on the level and on a high enough level to analyze it alongside, the other heavy hitter. Pretty much anything like. Or a lot of
why would we spend our time analyzing Rise of the Silver Surfer as much as we would something like Iron Man or Dark Knight or Avengers?
Yes, and that's something I was saying earlier too. Is that these feel like some of the last movies of like, and this might be a discussion we do on a later day as well.
Yeah.
But just a little side note. This feels like some of the last movies of like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Late 90s movies.
When superhero movies were still trying to figure out their identity.
Yeah. And they were still very campy, and I'm thinking specifically of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Let's see, like just all those like
even Daredevil. As much as I like that movie, and yes, it has problems, but it has a lot of ridiculous stuff in it.
Like all those like little small movies that they threw out there, like Ghost Rider.
Pretty much everything outside of like the first two X-Men movies, and we're talking early 2000s here.
Yeah.
And Batman Begins. Pretty much everything else has a lot of goofy elements somewhere in there.
Because they still think, oh, it's a cartoon. Let's be cartoonish.
Yeah.
And you have the same problems going back. Maybe not all the way. I mean, obviously Batman's a little different. The original 1989 Batman.
Watching it now, it's still a little goofy.
Yeah, exactly.
But back then, it was dark.
It's still not quite. It doesn't play it nearly as straight as the Nolan movies and stuff like that.
Oh God. No.
And like it feels like somewhere along the way we just got a better. Like somewhere 2008, I was thinking we just figured out how to make good superhero movies, like how to make them feel better.
No, but two distinctly different tones for superhero movies.
2008.
On the one hand, you have Iron Man, on the other hand, you have Dark Knight.
Exactly, and they both set like the two tones that everyone goes with nowadays for superhero movies.
It really does feel that way. You either go with one or the other.
Yeah, and Marvel's playing a little bit of that. They did Daredevil, which we both really loved, and we feel like it's a very good blending of the two.
But I still hope that's the best piece of superhero live media we've ever had.
I agree. We're talking about the TV show, obviously.
No, that Ben Affleck movie was perfect.
Yes.
Good stuff.
But yeah, I mean, like that's the weird thing is that how did we go from this and you said what else came out in 2007 that was really bad?
2007 was the trifecta of bad.
Because it was this Ghost Rider.
It was even worse because 2006 I think V for Vendetta came out in 2006, and that's a good movie. Mm-hmm. But we had X-Men 3, of course, I hate, and then Superman Returns, which is not
universally
good.
hated. Yeah.
It's not good. Well, not universally hated, but it's
just about.
Critics like it.
Okay.
2007, except for us. 2007, you had the trifecta of bad. You had Ghost Rider. You had Spider-Man 3, which you
abhor.
Yeah. And then you had Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, and it's just so weird how we went from that. Like those two like in cap years of everything that was wrong with all the superhero movies that came before, like and culminating into one film for each franchise.
Yeah.
And then we just switch over and we got Iron Man and Dark Knight, which are amazing.
And then you got Hellboy. Probably. And then Hellboy 2 also, which a lot of people like, and then Incredible Hulk, which both of us enjoy a lot.
Yeah, and I think people are lightening up on that movie a lot too as time goes on.
Yeah. And then Punisher Warzone.
But that was.
I actually enjoy that movie. And that's kind of a guilty pleasure.
And that's a super low budget movie too. And
yeah,
it's kind of off to the side.
Yeah,
but yeah, like it's very strange how we switched over to that, and we haven't really looked back. I feel like because
for the most part, yeah,
even crappy movies past that point haven't really felt like they were crappy pre 2008 superhero movies. They've all felt like
pretty
crappy.
much the only one that feels like or around 2000 is Green Lantern.
Yeah, I knew you were going there too. Yeah.
I mean that's the obvious choice, but even like the bad stuff, like I don't know, Ghost Rider 2, it doesn't really feel like something from the early 2000s.
Or Wolverine Origins is what I was thinking.
Yeah, that too.
It feels like a movie that was made badly in the style of Iron Man or Dark Knight.
Yeah,
not in the style of anything of all the like. There was really only one tone to choose from before 2008, and then it split, and there were two very distinct good ones that are both being very successful today. I don't know. It's very strange.
It's an interesting discussion.
Yes, we'll probably have to dig into that a little more later on. But that's...
We'll have to nip that in the bud for now.
Yeah. Food for thought. Just interesting how this... The Fantastic Four just have never... Like, because, I mean, this was the last thing we got of the Fantastic Four before we entered into a better era.
This could just be because I'm tired and cynical right now. Mm. We're never going to get a good Fantastic Four movie.
I think...
I don't honestly believe that, but whatever.
I don't know. But it's just... Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you're going to do a movie with no plot and it's just character interactions, can we just get Quentin Tarantino to do it?
That would be nice.
Or Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon would be ideal.
Okay, make Fantastic Four a smaller budget.
He'd also probably find the perfect...
And just put Joss Whedon on it.
He'd also probably find the perfect cast.
Oh, that'd be perfect!
Joss Whedon does great casting, so I'm sure he'd find exactly who he needed for that.
But now he doesn't want to do high-budget movies anymore. Yeah, exactly. That's why you make this movie not high-budget.
TV show. Netflix.
Oh. What could have been Joss Whedon making a Fantastic Four?
Yeah. Oh, well. Maybe.
That'd be great if they announced that.
Yeah.
Day 1. Fox sells rights back to Marvel. Everyone cheers.
Day 2. Joss Whedon making Fantastic Four TV show or movie or whatever.
Oh my god, you're totally right. He should do a Netflix
That's
TV
what I'm
show.
saying. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Cool.
I want that.
Because then it would be low budget. It would be a little more about the characters and their arcs and stuff like that. And you could use that to introduce little side stuff.
He grew up in TV. Like, that's where he got his name. Yeah. Buffy, Angel,
exactly. If
Firefly.
If anybody can save Fantastic Four, it's Joss Whedon writing a TV show for them.
Why are we not running things?
I don't know. I wish I knew.
I wish I knew as well.
But yeah, that's just kind of this whole review is kind of a reflection on the fact that so many franchises survived and are still being pushed forward.
And then
after 2007.
Oh god, I'm just saying.
Then the only attempt is since then has been for Fantastic Four has been Fanforstic, and it sucked. Way worse than either of these. It's just like
it's beating a dead horse.
Yeah, like. I don't know. Well, I'm just saying, like, it's just so weird to me that nobody can even, like, come close to getting Fantastic Four right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Roger Corman did, I swear.
I don't know.
Am I joking or not? You don't know. All right, everybody. We'll end here. What's the next one? Tyler?
Sherlock Holmes 2.
Oh, yeah, right. we said that earlier. All right.
Indeed.
Okay. I'm just kind of depressed now. I want Joss Whedon to make that show.
I know, right?
All right, everybody. Hopefully next time I'll be, less tired and more excited. Yeah.
We'll talk about Sherlock Holmes 2.
I like
That's a
that
fun movie.
Yes. Spoilers. I like that movie. Something to look forward to.
Spoilers for a review.
Something to look forward to.
Indeed.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Our next up on the list is Sherlock Holmes 2, like I was just talking about. Very relevant right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's technically relevant because Man from U.N.C.L.E. came out last weekend, and Guy Ritchie directed that.
Yeah. That's a stretch.
It is a stretch.
But that was not our plan. That just... We have filler weeks.
No. We originally hadn't planned on doing the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
we saw Fanforstic, and we were like, well, we kind of have to do it now.
Yeah, we were like, might as well. I mean, it's never going to be...
Because these movies, look like freaking Oscar contenders compared to that.
Because surely, I mean...
Spoilers.
I mean, I know Hollywood, but surely this is never going to... Or this is never going to be more relevant, at least not in, like, the next 5 years. Because surely they're not going to make another Fantastic Four movie in the next 5 years.
Cough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to split the discussion up into 2 sections for each movie. So, Tyler...
Go into a different direction, kind of streamline.
Not really a phase 2.
It's a different... We're over the next month or so, we're going to be rolling out a lot of new changes.
Yes.
A lot of which we haven't implemented yet, but you'll notice more as we go along.
Including a big name change.
Yes, it's coming. Yeah. Have we already used a video with the new logo yet?
Yes, our analysis of Fanforstic.
Oh man, the one that is longer than the movie itself. Yes. That was a fun one.
Yeah. We have our new little opening with the new name of the channel that we're going to go for.
Go check it out.
But anyways, over the next month, we'll be putting in those changes, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Welcome to
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh my god. Welcome to Settle for the Bronze, and this week, if you couldn't tell by our opening, we are doing the 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four films.
Yeah.
Now, This is coming a little late after the
We're still on this.
The travesty that was fan forced.
Nice form, but a little rough on the landing. He may have to settle for the bronze.
How do you guys,
That's none of your business.
Okay, all right, I'm just concerned. I'd hate to wake up one morning and find out she was killed in a rock slide.
I'll show you a rock slide.
Hey guys, this is Alex,
With Tyler.
and welcome to Settle for the Bronze. Now, if you've been anywhere on this YouTube channel that you're on right now, seen any of the other videos, yeah, we don't typically use our first names at all.
No, never.
Yeah,
We are now.
yeah. I was Aero007, and
I was Cyclops.
yeah,
Yes.
this guy over here was Tyclops. But we're doing sort of a phase 2 type thing with the channel.
We're
But we just can't get it out of our minds. Now, we said in the last Settle for the Bronze video, Green Hornet, that we would be doing The Bourne Legacy. That would be our next film.
no.
Yeah, we've kind of changed the whole schedule.
As part of our new setup and the way we're changing things, we changed a lot of the Settle for the Bronze schedule. We do have a very extended timeline for what we're going to be doing for that. But they're a lot more tied in with with movies that are coming out, and we tried to attach that a little more and make them a little more relevant, while also allowing us some time for just random obscure stuff that nobody cares about anymore.
The Green Hornet. That was relevant, right?
Exactly. So I mean, we're gonna try and angle that a little more towards that. There's still gonna be random odds and ends stuff that we just throw out there too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I actually could probably pull up what we're doing next week. I believe.
I was about to say Tyclops.
Oh
Tyler,
man! Now you have to change yourself the other way.
God,
new.
God, I'm too tired for this. Go ahead and read off the scores for Fantastic Four from 2005.
All right, Fantastic Four from 2005 has a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 40% on Metacritic, and a 5.7 on IMDb.
Do you know what the user score was for Rotten Tomatoes?
I got that right here.
You forgot the last statistic.
I'm sorry. I forgot. Didn't we decide that we're going to stop using Metacritic because it sucks?
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
An audience score of 46%.
Okay, so obviously most people don't really like it that much. I don't know. What are your general thoughts / recommendation before we?
I was surprised when I watched it because
keep in mind we were watching this right after Fan 4 Stick.
Yeah, we're looking back at this thinking, okay, so this is what we're
this is what we're dealing with.